What is up, guys? Back again for another rival episode. Today we are working on the catch can and the header swirl pot, the header and overflow chamber. Both of those are going to be in one. The catch can is on the hot side of the engine. If you don't remember, a few episodes back I shaved the RB26 valve covers. I shaved the valve covers and I bridged the two together, almost like a 2J, 1J type of thing. And we're gonna be coming out of the hot side of the valve cover into the catch can. And then the catch can is going to be venting through the fender. Not like through the fender to atmosphere, but underneath the fender. It's gonna be coming into the wheel well and then going dispersing from there. Here in a little bit, a couple more episodes, you'll see me building the engine overbar. And what it does is it's gonna hug both manifolds, and it will run back to the firewall. And from the firewall forward and in that little pocket that it's gonna make, there's gonna be covers. It'll make so much more sense once y'all see it. So y'all gonna have to stay tuned for that. But today we're working on the catch can and the header tank and overflow tank in one. As you can see, I said the soft mounts turned into our favor, and it's because of how short and stiff that catch can line is. So basically what I'm a little worried about is this being so stiff, and when the engine rocks, it's going to want to rock or move the catch can. But if it does, we've got a little bit of wiggle room. In between the two valve covers we're bridging, almost like a 2J, 1J like I've said before. And there's two 12s that run between each valve cover. And from the valve cover to the catch can, it's just dash 16 in. So the catch can is beautiful. It's a really big catch can, but we're hoping to make big horsepower of this car. What we were gonna do was get rid of the brake booster and clutch booster and move all of that underneath. And that would have been doable in probably any other car, but because of the location of the steering shaft, the brake pedal is right over top of the steering shaft and it moves around. We were going to do tilting pedals, but the tilting pedals would not have worked because of that. So we had no other choice but to run stock booster pedals, master. We had no other choice. We were going to put the cans over here to match that side, or we were even thinking about putting in a cowl since he's not going to have windshield wipers, hence why I'm pretty much at the motor. But what we wound up doing is moving the can right here in the intake area, moving on to the header tank and overflow. So there's going to be a lot of questions. I feel like y'all are going to be a little iffy on how it all works. I'll try my best to run you guys through what we did. So if y'all aren't too familiar with the RBs, you know, 20 through 30, in between each runner or intake port on the head, they separate it into three with two sets. So you've got 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6. In between 1 and 2, in between 3 and 4, and in between 5 and 6, you've got your water ports that go into the head. So you've got these breathers that come out of the intake manifold that are little. We've got 4 ends on it right now. and that's basically just to bleed off any kind of air that come out of there. That's the highest point in the water coolant system on the engine. So I made the header tank above the intake manifold, and those 3 lines that come out of there will go right to the header tank. The header tank's the highest point in your coolant system. That's why it's called header tank. It's the head of the coolant system. So we've got the radiator cap on the header tank. There's no radiator cap on the radiator. We also incorporated the overflow with the header tank. So they are 2 separate tanks. If y'all look at it, don't think that they are merged. They're 2 separate tanks. The header tank's on top, obviously, it's the highest point, and the little straw that you see routes down, and it goes all the way down to the very bottom of the overflow tank. That way, if we see surges in pressure in the header tank, the cap, if y'all don't know how a cap works. And we also got this really sick radiator cap. So we went with a bigger radiator cap. We figured out why not. Mainly for aesthetics. You don't need such a big radiator cap. This is a GM style radiator cap, and a lot of the GM caps are just ugly. None of them really look the best. So this one is actually all billet. It's called the Safe Car. It's by Mezier, I guess that's how you say it. But anyways, you can see this pin on top, and you can't take it out unless you pop this pin out. You lift that open, and then that allows you to spin it on and off. It's a pretty cool design. Never seen anything like it before. It's gonna blow people's minds. And at Driver Motorsports, that's what we do. We blow people's minds. That cap's a 16-pound cap. So if it's 16 pounds or more, the cap, the little spring on the inside, opens up, and it's gonna start pushing out coolant and pushing out air. Here's the catch can. Like I said before, in between they're going to be bridged from side to side, and all the vapors of the engine will be put into the catch can. Now, as y'all can see, there's no vent that you can see, but inside of here, the fender rail, we've got the vents. So inside of this catch can, I made the baffles. The baffles come through, and the air always travels to the highest point, and we put Brillo pads in there, and the Brillo pads are going to act as a material to catch the oil vapors, because the oil vapor is going to be pushing through, and it's going to have oil in the vapor. What we're hoping is the Brillo pad will catch the oil, and the oil will drip down, but the air will still be able to run through the Brillo pad. And underneath, we've got a line that comes down to the bottom of the frame rail, and it's got a little petcock on it, or a ball joint, that if you need to drain the catch can, you don't have to take the catch can in and out. You just go underneath and pop that open, and it'll drain. That should be it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for all the support you've given us. Can't be grateful enough. If y'all haven't already, subscribe, like, comment, do your thing. Thank y'all so much. See you next time.